Sam Loke here for irishboxing.com. Delighted to be joined by Ben Williams here at the press conference and weigh-in day for UCC number 3. Ben, it's a pleasure to get you. We were supposed to talk in the past, it never came off, but I'm delighted to be here with you today. Obviously with Matt Meehan behind the camera as well. Shout out Matt Meehan.
There you go, Matt.
The king of irishboxing.com. First of all, my friend, how are you?
I'm all good, bro, and a pleasure to be on this, and thanks for having us on. I know we were supposed to do it before, but look, we're here now, so yeah, let's have a chat.
Absolutely, absolutely. Had to get that little dig in, do you know what I mean? Look, we're here for obviously UCC 3, but you're quite an interesting conversation for us to have on the channel. Obviously with your background in boxing, but then kind of moving into influencer boxing, I suppose your social media fame and everything. So you're an interesting character. So I suppose there's a lot of questions for us to ask you today about kind of both sides of the spectrum of boxing. I think first of all, can you let the people know who maybe don't know so much, and maybe people from a boxing background, like a more of a purist boxing background, like what is your background in boxing? What have you achieved as an amateur coming up through the ranks? Where did you train, etc.?
Yeah. So we started off when I was in 6th class. I actually done the school program. Michael Crew was running that with Ed Griffin. Big up to the lads. They're still doing it to this day, and I think it's very good for the younger crowd, you know, to get into boxing early. It's a great sport, as we all know. The lessons it teaches and the discipline it gives you. So yeah, big up to the lads for doing that. But yeah, that's how I got into it. So as I said, I was in school, gave it a shot, and the first day I was in there, Michael Crew see me on the bike in the boxing club where we were training with the school, and he just instantly seen that I had a bit of a talent there, you know, on my first ever session. So he said, come down here tonight 6 o'clock. I was like, what you mean? He goes, yeah, we do classes here, come down. Basically told me, like, give me no other choice, you know. Told me dad about it, that he wanted me to come down, and yeah, my dad said, right, let's go. Brought me down that night, and yeah, it all started from there. Ended up finishing out the school program, had an exhibition at the end of it, done very well, and yeah, went straight into the leagues then probably 3 months later. So I was only in boxing probably 6 months, not even, before I done my first leagues championship, and yeah, won that. I actually won every leagues that I'd done, so I was 6-time Dublin champion, Leinster champion, All Irelands. I never got there, should have won it. It got robbed, to say the least, back in the day, but look, that's in the past now. I flew to Canada with Drimnet as well, won over there, and yeah, so big up the Drimnet Boxing Club as well, by the way. They gave me a great experience as an amateur, and yeah, had a great time.
That's great company to be in, isn't it? Like Michael Carruth,
big time,
Olympic champion, one of the only Irish male Olympic champion. I mean, that's amazing. So then it becomes interesting, your journey from that point onwards, right? So you're obviously quite successful as a younger man. Not that you're not a young man, you're certainly younger than me. But as a schoolboy, kind of all the way through the ranks. So talk us through your journey with boxing from that point. You know, what happened? Did you kind of stray away from boxing? You're obviously back now in the creator, influencer side of things, and I want to touch on that as well. But talk us through your journey from kind of being successful as a schoolboy into where you are now. Yeah,
so I think I finished off having about 27 fights, and then I had a bad injury with my ankle, and then after that I just kind of stepped away from it. I was obviously out training for 3 months, gained a bit more weight than I should have, and I started staring into social media then for like a job, really, because I dropped out of school during that time as well. When I had that injury, it was a bit of a hard time in life at that time, and we started getting into the gym, lifting weights, and that's when I got into fitness training, and then that was my full-time job. But the reason I got back into it was social media, actually. So I'm not sure if you remember, but me and Conor Ryan had a charity boxing match. It was in 2021 summer, or 2022 actually. And yeah, we actually done the Red Cow where we are now, outside in the big top tent, and we got a huge turnout. Like I think there was over 1,000 people there, and like the hype around it was nothing that I've never seen before. You know, like 2 celebrities, I wouldn't say celebrities, but social media stars, Ivan, having a boxing match, you know, and there was big buzz around this. So yeah, when I done that, I just got craved that feeling again and again. I'm walking out, people cheering and that. So yeah, I never thought I'd go back amateur because I was just so busy with social media and business in itself. So we explored the influencer world more, and my next fight then was in the Tree Arena last summer on Kingpin, and yeah, that was against the Black Paddy. After that, went over to Dubai, done another one on Crypto Fight Night, and then Misfits in January. So yeah, I've done 4 fights now in the influencer world, and I've won them all. I'm just planning, only getting started here, you know, so I'm planning to take it over.
You've obviously had quite a good amateur background from I suppose a traditional boxing standpoint, right? You're now in the in the influencer side of things, and we will get into that. But do you have any ambitions to kind of transition out of influencer style boxing, where it's perhaps less regulated and less official to some degree, into professional boxing, or even a higher standard of amateur boxing in Ireland?
Yeah. Well, Misfits now is basically professional. Like, everything you do in Misfits is the same rules and regulations as professional boxing, you know, from the medicals to the eye tests, the getting drug tested afterwards. All of it is secure, you know. So on that end of things, I don't think I'd ever go back into pro or amateur boxing, mainly because I haven't got the time to actually, you know yourself, professional boxing is a different ball game. It's a full-time job, and so is influencer boxing in a way. Like, you got to put in good camps, and it costs a lot of money. But in terms of me growing my profile and the vision that I have for my future, professional boxing will not bring me there. Yeah. But I do believe that influencer boxing will bring me to that vision that I have, you know. Okay. So I have no plans of going back into the professional world or amateur world, but yeah, I do plan on staying in this influencer game, as I'm the only Irish guy that's doing it, you know. Yeah. That's in Misfits. So there's a gap in the market there first off, and as I said, yeah, good amateur background, I'm a handy enough boxer, so I think I've got what it takes. I've got the persona, the looks, the skill to be the best in that game, you know, so it's perfect for me.
Yeah, well, that's interesting, and I appreciate your honesty on it as well. So is it fair to say that your goals are not sport-centric, so to speak? You know what I mean? You're not looking to achieve in a kind of more of a real boxing sense, but the boxing in the influencer side of things kind of gives you maybe more what you're looking for. And I suppose really to end that is, like, what are you looking for out of it then? Is it like money? Is it more kind of clout, to use a more modern day term?
Well, yeah, like, obviously the clout you get off it, it's going to just benefit my profile, which then leads to me making more money in the long run. And again, that vision that we have, the life that we want, you got to make money, do you know what I mean? So in a sense, yeah, if it's going to make me more money, which, as I said there, I will, yes, that's the main reason. Yeah.
Fair enough, man. Absolutely fair enough. Talk to me a little bit about UCC and your kind of involvement in it. We spoke a little bit off camera, but I want you to kind of let people know kind of what your involvement is in it, and I suppose as a segue out of that, also, you know, this irishboxing.com, for example, is a purist site. It's a traditional boxing site. It's not easy for sites like ourselves to kind of delve into this side of the sport, because it's kind of, I suppose, it's not what's known, and it seems like it's a little bit different. And I think there's a lot of people, boxing fans, who are still quite timid or shy, or a bit not sure about if they could really get involved in it or not. I want you to try and, not to try, but sell us on it. Why should people watch the show? Why should people be involved in this? Why should they be interested in UCC and influencer boxing in general?
Well, off the bat, like, you already have white collar shows that go on, you know what I mean? And that, I know it's not exactly the same, but it is, like, grown men is the main market for white collar. But these are people that are looking to get into boxing for maybe to change their lives around, get fit, and at the end of it, the end result is to have a fight, you know? And it's the same with influencer boxing. Like, these creators, these are out here and they're hard-working people, you know, and they are trying to make a name for themselves. But stepping into this world, I don't see why it should be frowned upon. Like, any pro boxer now, they all started out as a kid, or whatever age they were, like, naive to boxing, and then they learned it. Do you know what I mean? It's the same principle. These influencers, celebrities, social media stars, they're all coming in naive to the sport, but they're learning. You know what I mean? They're putting in heavy graft. They're paying thousands on training camps, and they're putting in maybe not the same amount of hard work, but a lot of hard work, you know. And I know why pros are bitter about it a little bit, because maybe the money side of things, like, at the end of the day, mate, boxing is a business before a sport, you know. Heard Thomas Carty saying this before, and I agreed on it very much. It's a business before that. So, like, if it's making more money on this end of things, you can see why. You got to sell tickets, you know what I mean? So, like, these influencers are selling more tickets than pro boxers. Why? Because they have thousands of fans that want to see them do this. Yeah. Do you know that way?
I do understand exactly where you're coming from. Do you understand the skeptic's point of view that perhaps it's kind of stealing or taking away from real boxers? And I suppose that argument is somewhat based on, you know, real boxers, I say in inverted commas, like people who've kind of dedicated a very long time, who it's kind of a primary focus in their life perhaps, who they work so hard to be good at that thing, and then, you know, people come in from a different background into their realm and kind of take the attention almost. And I'm not saying that that's what I think, but that seems to be a massive opinion among the fans. do you at least understand where they were coming from?
100% I can see that. Do you know what I mean? It's like if you put it in the other perspective, like if you had a clothing brand that you worked on for years and years and years, and it's taken off, and then somebody else comes in with a big following, releases a clothing brand, and that blows up, you'd be bitter, of course. But as I said, it's a business before that, and so how can you really, like, do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's just business at the end of the day. That's what I say. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I can't see where people are coming from, but that little story I told you there with the clothing brand, like, if you think of it that way, it's going to the same principle, you know? Yeah.
Fair enough. No, fair enough. There is also some skepticism over the safety at times, and I think this is particularly relevant to you. Let's kind of roll back to your fight against Black Paddy, is his name, right? Or that's his moniker or whatever you call it. I don't know his full name, but I actually saw that fight, and I think it's fair to say, and I'm not trying to put you under the cosh here, but that was a complete mismatch and probably shouldn't have happened, in the sense of he was probably a bit unsafe in that fight, because you know what you're doing. You're clearly quite competent, you know, relative to that level and what the boxing is, and he wasn't. You know what I mean? Is there an element of that it can be perhaps dangerous, and what do you make to that side of it, that perhaps we've seen some, how would you say, dubious matchmaking maybe?
Yeah, I think definitely to be brought in, and we're actually going to do this, me and Keith only spoke about it, is actually like getting the fighters, we'll give them training camps, like assign them to different coaches and maybe boxing clubs. We're actually looking to get in Crumlin and Drimnagh for
like a white collar route, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That's the route we're trying to go down now. Again, to make sure like that doesn't happen again, or nobody gets injured and they actually know how to throw pointers properly. It's a big thing, like, you know. Make sure they can actually box, because a lot of these people do want to just come in here for the clout and for the show and to feel what it's like to walk down the stairs with everyone screaming their name, you know. But I do think that this should be implemented, and it will be, to actually assign the boxers ourselves and not just give them the freedom to go off, because we don't know how many sessions are in a week. They could say, oh yeah, I've done 3 this week, but they could have just done nothing, you know. So yeah, me and Keith are only thinking about an idea there. We'll assign them to boxing clubs where we'll have an online check-in, like an online coach pretty much, and they have to take off like the session they done, how many minutes they done, how they're learning, how much they're coming on, you know. So yeah, I do agree with you there. Matchmaking could be a lot better, and I think it has been getting better. And yeah, if you do implement this idea, could change a lot, you know. Yeah.
But I think that's something that everyone would be very happy to hear. What about you though? Because you are a good boxer, and a lot of the people that you might be fighting, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this as well, a lot of the people that you will be fighting perhaps in Misfits and stuff, maybe they are training hard, maybe now they're training as boxers, but they don't come from a boxing background for the most part. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but you do. So you have a base there of skills that a lot of people that you will be boxing, I would at least assume, won't have. So relative to you, do you think that there's some danger there?
Right now with Misfits, definitely not, no. I've been offered a lot of shows outside Misfits that haven't got a roster like they do. I think their roster is pretty good, you know, like even my way. We've got a few Americans in there that are heavy hitters, like, you know, and that last fellow I boxed was an ex-pro, Fez Batista, his name is, trainer Lloyd Jones Jr., used to spar Devin Haney. So like, that was a good matchup, and I came out on top of that one. I didn't think I was going to. My thoughts going into that match was I thought I was going to get knocked out, not going to lie. Really? So, yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, I was not confident going into that last one, but obviously put in the work and I got the win. But yeah, like, I do think with Misfits now, they've got it under wraps, and I do think the money that they're paying the fighters is enough to get really good training camps in, and like nutrition, recovery, all that is sorted, you know. And nobody that will be fighting won't have a good training camp, or won't have a good meal plan around going up, you know. So
well, the thing that strikes me there is that if there's heavy investment, even if they're kind of only relatively new to the sport, at least they can learn at a faster capacity, you know what I mean? So at least they can perhaps catch up. That's all really good to hear, to be honest. And the last thing I wanted to ask you, Ben, was, do you believe that you are the best boxer in the influencer creator side of things at the moment, and do you think you can get to the top of that realm?
Yeah, if you put your mind to anything, mate, you can do anything, do you know what I mean? So yeah.
You're inspiring me, man.
Go up down, start that boxing in a minute. Yeah, bro, like for me, I don't do it in half-hours, you know what I mean? If I'm going to step into a realm or an area of business, I put me all into it, you know what I mean? So I believe, and I do, I can be the best at it. Once enough hard work goes in, and you know yourself, mate, you can do one in this world. So yeah, I think I'm going to be the best. I don't think I will be the best, yeah?
Good man, that's what we want to hear.
Law of attraction now, man.
Law of attraction.
Law of attraction.
Absolutely. Conor McGregor fan here, is it? Do you want to just at least quickly talk to us about the show. You know, tell us what the fans can expect and why should they tune in?
100%. So yeah, UCC 3 on tomorrow. Last 2 events were sold out, and we're expecting another sellout tomorrow. And yeah, what should you expect? A night of great fights. We've got a lot of amateur boxers on as well, so you will be seeing a level of experience, and then a lot of influencers that come in as well with not a lot of experience that the amateurs have, but trust me, they are working hard and they will be banger fights. You know, it's a lot on the line when you're fighting an influencer via an influencer. Like, you know yourself, mate, to lose I can get a lot of sticks. So yeah, there's pressure on, and yeah, a great night all in all. This place is a great venue. In the warehouse we got an upstairs category for everyone to look down on, and then a downstairs VIP area as well. So it's a great buzz, and yeah, you should come and have a look.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Ben, thanks very much for talking to IrishBoxing.com.